So, imagine this. It's Christmas Day 2005, and as a huge Kingdom Hearts fan, you've been begging your parents for a copy of the badass looking sequel, Kingdom Hearts 2. Just as you hoped, you got it for Christmas. You unwrap it like a speed demon, and go pop it in your PlayStation 2. Finally, I get to be with Sora, Goofy, and Donald again. Or so you thought. Who the fuck is this kid? Now we have to be this random dude who apparently has dreams about Sora, and what's with all these angsty organization members?
My heart just wouldn't be in it, you know? Haven't got one.
This was the case when Kingdom Hearts 2 dropped, because a year prior, a major part of the story was released, and was completely overlooked, and even almost forgotten. Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories was released in 2004, originally for the Game Boy, and as you can guess, this is technically the true Kingdom Hearts 2, a card-based RPG with fluid combat starring our favorite anime boy, Sora, and a majority of the cast from the first game, including Donald and Goofy. It was seen as more of a spin-off title or a side title because it was released on the Game Boy. Unfortunately, not directly being a sequel, and also being a handheld game, really stretched the market thin. It led most to believe it wasn't even necessary to play it, so people missed it completely. Luckily, with the rise of Kingdom Hearts' popularity, brought the Final Mix version of Kingdom Hearts in 2008. After the popularity of the Final Mix, they created a collection of both games, now redesigned with their own unique Final Mix in 2017, and that was released on the PlayStation 4 and PS3. The collection included every Kingdom Hearts game up until that point, revamped with slightly touched up graphics and new content. The game that benefited most, of course, was Chain of Memories, except now it was titled Kingdom Hearts Re-Chain of Memories, the only title in the Final Mix collection to receive a full remake, now accessible to many more. Let's go over the underrated and hidden gem that is Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories.
You have lost sight of the light within the darkness, and it seems that you've forgotten that you forgot.
The light within darkness?
Would you like me to give you a hint?
Sora, do you need it?
I'm gonna figure it out for myself.
With Kingdom Hearts 1 ending with Sora, Donald, and Goofy walking pretty much into the sunset, ready for their next adventure, this is where Chain of Memories picks up. Unluckily, the gang has made their way into Castle Oblivion, where as we find out, Sora's memory will be lost the further he goes into the castle. Right off the bat, it's clear you have reached the Lion's Den. Truthfully speaking, this game does a great job at showing exactly why Sora is who he is. He decides to go further in, continuing looking for his friends despite knowing he will lose all of his memories of them anyway. You actually get to explore many worlds from the original game. Traverse Town, Agrabah, Monstro, Neverland, Atlantica, Halloween Town, just to name a few. And arguably, my favorite world is introduced in this game for the very first time, Twilight Town. Throughout the worlds, you start to uncover the mystery of the organization, a group that swears themselves to darkness that hopes to completely extinguish the light, and their secret weapon is a 12-year-old girl. Naminé really gets no proper backstory in this game, but she is the one actually tampering with Sora's memories. It is also very clear from the beginning she is being forced by the organization to meddle with Sora and doesn't enjoy tormenting him. The story can honestly get a bit dark at times, and the game ends with Sora willingly being put into an almond-shaped pod to sleep off his amnesia. Sounds silly when I say it like that, I guess, but it's true. Before we move on to the other side of this story, though, I think we should explore the main difference this game offers that the others don't, which is the card-based deck system. The combat has taken a very drastic change for the weird, with every spell, summon, and attack being a card now, and with a number value. You also need cards to open doors to different sections in each world. Also, worlds are cards. Everything in this goddamn game is a card. It presents itself as kind of overwhelming, but within an hour, I felt pretty comfortable with the card system. The idea is that any card you play must be a higher value than the enemy's card. If it's lower, then they win, and vice versa. Except 0. Playing a card with the value of 0 will break any card unless the card is also 0. Keeping a streak of consistent card breaks against the enemy allows for stringing together combos like normal, like in the original game. And for special attacks, there are slights. Slights are special moves you can do depending on a variation of 3 cards. You may store any 3 cards outside of your deck and use them in a special technique or a basic unbreakable combo. It's actually pretty cool.
Let's go!
The main draw of slights in the game is the ability for them to combine values. Combining values is actually very important for overpowering enemies and bosses. Each card has a value ranging from 0 to 9. Specific slights require a combined number value, and even bosses can use slights like I just said. The drawback to them is that each card used in a slight more than likely won't reappear back in the deck, which sucks when Vexen or Riku Replica wants to break all of your slights a million times. Don't worry though, you'll see all the classic spells and summons, and slights just make it easier for you to use those original attacks or actions and make them stronger. So, seems like a lot to remember, right? Well, go ahead and forget most of that now, because that was for Sora. It's about time we move on to the second half of the game's story, our sad boy, Riku.
Stay asleep.
Who's there?
You should remain asleep. Here, between light and dark.
Between what? The king! Where's the king? Together we close the door to darkness. After that?
You came drifting here by yourself. You did not have the strength to overcome the darkness. Or maybe you were close to it.
As if I'm some kind of demon.
After Riku and Mickey closed the door to darkness at the end of Kingdom Hearts 1, Riku fell deep into the in-between of light and darkness, and Ansem called out trying to take control of his body once again, but Ansem failed so badly he actually wakes Riku up from his unending sleep, which brings him to Castle Oblivion as well as Sora. Kinda dumb of Ansem if you ask me. Riku, unlike Sora, gets to keep all of his memories. The trade-off being that as Riku, you don't get any helpful companions. He must explore his memories from when he was consumed by Ansem in the first game completely alone. The organization plans to take Riku's power with the darkness and harness it into the perfect combatant or, organization member, whatever you want to say. Which is where Riku Replica comes from. Basically, the organization wanted to make a duplicate of Riku that isn't afraid of the darkness like our little guy Riku is. This is all ongoing as Riku still struggles to fight off Ansem as he continues to go through Castle Oblivion, just as Sora is on the other side. I guess in a way you do sort of get a companion as Riku. There is a apparition of Mickey, or the king, that comes and helps you here and there, but he isn't fully a companion to Riku until about halfway through his story, so I'm not really going to talk about him very much. Eventually, Riku comes across Naminé, just as Sora did, who had been secretly helping them both the entire time they had been in Castle Oblivion. She offers Riku a way to get rid of Ansem, but like the badass he is and always has been, I will fight you on this, don't test me. Riku is free of the darkness once more after serving Ansem's ass back to him on a platter. And, for once and for all, he's done with him. Or is he? At least that's where the story leaves off, with some cutscenes during the end credits filling in the gaps of where the characters end up leading into Kingdom Hearts 2. So now that we've discussed both sides of their stories, why don't we go ahead and get into Riku's gameplay?
Someday, I will return!
While of course using a similar combat system, with card values determining revenge values and card strength, Riku's gameplay has been simplified. Your deck is influenced by your current level, and it is preset by the game. The best change between Sora and Riku's gameplay, besides slight differences, is the addition of Dark Form. Riku can harness the darkness inside him and transform his body in the way it was when he was possessed by Ansem in Kingdom Hearts 1, which I think is honestly pretty dope. Riku has a unique stat called Dark Points, which build up throughout a battle when you break an enemy's card enough times. The greater the value is, then said enemy card determines how many Dark Points you get, which build into you changing into Dark form. What's extra cool about this was the first introduction to forms before Kingdom Hearts 2, and Riku beat Sora to the punch. Now, I thought about discussing Riku's dueling system, which is unique to him, but I won't because I absolutely hate it, so here's a quick clip of me doing it the one and only time 5 hours into the game.
Like it! Just me! Get a load of this!
Alright, now that that's out of the way, how about the leveling system? In Remake Chain of Memories, it's actually pretty different from Kingdom Hearts 1 and Kingdom Hearts 2. Each time you level up Sora and Riku, they have 3 different sets of abilities unique to each character. With Sora, you can upgrade his health points, card points, which expand your deck, and the ability to learn new sleights. With Riku, on the other hand, you can still upgrade his health points just like Sora, but his other 2 abilities are specific to him. Dark points, which of course upgrade Dark form, and attack points, which make his attack stronger. So that was it, Kingdom Hearts Re-Chain of Memories. In my opinion, not only is this game underrated as hell, it has one of my favorite storylines from Kingdom Hearts as a whole. Sora falling unknowingly into a trap he can't escape, but ultimately not caring when he finds out because he wants to protect his friends is a very interesting situation to put a hero with a heart of gold in, especially our little boy Sora. Riku also finds balance within himself, and takes control of his life like he always wanted, not having to live in Sora's shadow. The story is horrifying in a beautiful way, and it totally captures the series' themes in a complicated tale of loss, anger, and forgotten memories. Play on words there. But honestly, I'm gonna just go off script here. This is one of my favorite Kingdom Hearts games. The story itself is worth playing it for, but not only that, the card system, as daunting as it might seem, can be quite fun once you actually get deep into the game, and it's really rewarding once you learn what cards are going to work against what cards. So if you haven't played it already, I'm glad you stuck around to hear me ramble about a game I love so damn much. Hopefully now you understand that Kingdom Hearts Re-Chain of Memories is a hidden gem and proves its worth as an amazing experience. One of my favorite game series of all time, and one of the weirdest games from that game series. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.